Hello, and welcome to your Week 5 Lab 4 lecture slash lab demo video for OPS 345. This week we're going to continue building on the things we've built up in Labs 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. I was going to say 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is Lab 4. So at the end of Lab 3, last week, you should have a working web server called www with a really basic PHP page installed on it, and port forwarding from your router instance to that web page, that web server, right? So when you type in the IP address, the elastic IP address of your router instance, it takes you to your web server. Now in Lab 4, we're going to layer on a database, and we're actually going to use Amazon's RDS, Relational Database Service. So this, instead of having a single instance with a database on it, it's a service within your AWS cloud. I was trying to think of another word there, and it just like went out the window. I don't know. And then we're going to create a database within that. So it's the database service allows you to create databases within it, which is a little bit confusing. And then we're going to configure a LAMP application, right? We've already got all the elements for it. We've got Linux, we've got Apache, we've got PHP, now we've got the database. We're going to use MariaDB. That's a LAMP stack, right? And we've talked about LAMP stacks a bunch. And if you took OPS 245, depending on the professor you took it with last semester, if you took it with me or a couple other professors, I think used the WordPress assignment in assignment 2. That lays the foundation conceptually for the stuff we're doing here. We're just doing it in the cloud. So with that in mind, let me start my learner lab and get logged in. I've got to pause while I'm doing all that fun stuff, and we're straight up going to do Lab 4, right? We're going to configure the M in our LAMP stack. Oops, I didn't hit start. And yeah, get back momentarily. All right, so everything's loaded up. Just as a quick sanity check, I tried to SSH into my WW instance using, or www instance, sorry, 3 W's now, using the port forwarding. That worked, so that means everything's good to go, right? Always double check that stuff works, because you don't want to have to backtrack and deal with some stuff. I also opened, I was going to mention something else, and I totally forgot what it was. Oh, I remember what it is before I talk about opening this. This lab's super important to get done, and try to get done by the end of this week, and everything up to this lab. I know they're not due until week 8, but your assignment 1 is going to release next week, and you cannot do assignment 1 without doing lab 4 first. So you want to get that done sooner than later so you can get started on the assignment, because we're going to take everything we've done up to and including the end of Lab 4, and we're going to continue to build on it into assignment 1. So I thought I'd mention that in the first couple minutes. So I've got my SSH into my instance working, or my access, or my SSH access, command line access into my instance. I'm just going to minimize that for now. We'll come back to it later. We're going to do some stuff with our database. So in the AWS Management Console, we're going to go to Services. We're going to click on Database. And we're going to go to, I think it's Database. We're looking for the Relational Database. Maybe it's not there. RDS, there we go. I'm just gonna, so you can do that too, right? Now where the hell is that in the thing here? It's not under databases? Oh, it was there. It was right down here. I just didn't see it. I added it to my favorites with a star, because I know I'm probably going to have to come back here a few times, so let's just add it so it's there. And now I can just click here. Yay. So we're going to go to databases. We're going to click create database. We want standard MariaDB. So we're going to change that from the default. And see, there's a bunch of different database software you can use. We're going to stick with MariaDB. Default version's fine. We want the free tier. Make sure you select free tier because everything else costs a shitload more. And free is, well, free. We are going to call it OPS 345DB. We're going to change the default username to dbroot because it's a little more secure than admin. And we're going to give it a master password. You should create a unique password that's not the same as your AWS password for your account. Just throwing that out there. We need 20 gigs, that's fine. We're going to need a new security group. I think that's lower connectivity. Here we go. Yep, here we go. So make sure we want it in our VPC, OPS 345. Otherwise, bad things are going to happen. We're going to create a new security group. I'm not too sure about public access because it doesn't say. Let's read it. RDS assigns a public IP address to the database. I think no is fine. I think no is going to be a bit more secure. Let's see. We are going to create a new security group, and we're going to call it, what are we going to call it? OPS 345 DBSG. We're going to give it US1A as preference. Says we can use the rest of the defaults. We're going to click create database. And we're going to get an error. Because we need two availability zones. So there's basically for redundancy, we need two availability zones. So to do anything here, we're just going to leave this open. We're going to open VPC in another tab. It did not work. Crap. I'm going to have to redo everything probably now. I was trying to save myself some work. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go to VPC. I just got to retype everything again. That's fine. I was trying to be lazy and open that in a new tab. I held down Control. Thought it would open in a new tab because that's usually what happens with a link, and it did not. So we're going to add a new subnet in our VPC. So we're going to go to your VPCs. We need this VPC right here, right? Our OPS 345 VPC. We're going to go to create subnet. There we go. There we go. That's what I wanted. So not in the default, right? We want it there. We're going to call it subnet OPS 345 DB. And we're going to select 1B for our preference. The other one should be in 1A. Should be fine. And we need to give it 10.3.45 whoops .128/25. So /24 there, right? /25 there. That should work. Let's click create and see if we get an error. Yay, it worked. So now if we go to subnets, we should see, yep, there's our primary one, there's our secondary one. Remember how we left some room there? We took a /24, we made it a /25. This is why. And now we're going to go back to our RDS and do all that crap again. So databases, actually probably just click there and it would have done the same thing. Create database. Standard. MariaDB. This would have been a lot easier if I'd left this open because I could have just clicked a button. Just gonna, I'll leave it recording. DB, OPS 345 DB, DB root. Give it a password. Oh, there we go. At least I didn't type my password on the screen. That's what I was concerned about. Leave all that stuff fine. Make sure it goes in our VPC, right? Create a new subnet. We're gonna call it create a new VPC. There we go. We already did the subnet. My bad. OPS 345 DB SG. Additional configuration. Yeah, it's fine. I think we're okay now. I think we're okay. Just gonna give this a once over and make sure. I missed free tier. It's a good thing I double checked. And we picked 1A for our security, or for our availability zone, right? I did not do that. Oh, see, lots of things you can miss. And we should be able to click create now. Hopefully I didn't fuck this up. This is going to take a few minutes to create. So, we probably don't want to save that in our browser. That's probably not a good plan. We're going to close that. We can do some cool stuff. Nope, we don't need that. So while that's creating, we're going to continue on, and we're just going to come back. So that's creating. We're going to connect to WW. Oh, look, I already did that. And we're going to we're going to install MariaDB 105. DNF-y install Maria MariaDB 105. There we go. It's going. So this is the client software only, right? We don't need the server software because the server is running in our service in AWS. Now let's go see if that's done, because we actually need this. It still says it's creating. So you're just going to have to wait. I'm going to pause. I'll come back. I might let you know how long it's been. Otherwise, just pay attention to the bottom corner. Alright, I'm back. So that took 7 or 8 minutes, something like that. Just as a heads up. Be ready to wait while that's spinning up. Now we need to connect to it, which I don't know why I clicked this, because I need this. So back in our databases, we click there. We should get to, oh, here's all the stuff we need, right? So there's an endpoint here. That's the information we need. And of course, it's in our DB security group with our default VPC. So we should be able to SSH from the command line, or not SSH, sorry, connect with MySQL. UDB root -p. Shit, my password's going to be on the screen. Hold on a second. I was trying to figure out how to cover my password in a clever way. I could not, so I'm just scrolling up the screen. I'm trying to connect. It's going to time out. And that's because we've got a security group without the proper rules in it, right? So, we need to go to EC2. Let's open that in a new tab. Go to our security groups. And we're going to add in our DB security group, we're going to add a rule allowing sure where that is. That's interesting. MySQL. There we go. Which is port 3306, but it's easier to select it from the drop-down. And we're going to only want it accessible from WW Security Group. Let's save that. And let's give it a go again. It should work. There you go. It worked. Awesome. I just hit enter a bunch of times. Just to get my password off the screen, because it didn't seem like a great plan on putting it on YouTube. So we're going to do some basic stuff now. Obviously, if you can't connect, you got to get that sorted out first, right? Let's show databases. There we go. So we see we've got some default databases there, right? We're going to use the MySQL database. There we go. That switches our database. Let's take a look at the tables. There we go. We got a bunch of tables by default, right? The one we're interested in this case is the user table. So select star from user. And there we go. We see we've got a few users, right? We're going to create a new user. So whoops, back over here. Create database. So the things in caps technically don't have to be in caps. It's just the way SQL syntax tends to be written. There we go. Now we're going to grant all privileges, that's permissions, ILEGES, on firstdb dot star. 2, you're going to create a user, JM Carmen, DB user at %, it's a wildcard for anywhere, I believe, if I remember correctly, identified by JM Carmen DB password. You should probably select a password that makes sense for you, right? Also, that's actually the password in plain text. So maybe pick a more secure one, right? And we should see it's there. We're going to quit. And we're going to try to connect with them. MySQL -u JM Carmen DB user -p and our H, our host again, right? Yes, H and our host. There we go. Awesome, we're in. So we're good to go. Show databases. Use firstdb. So it's a little bit more secure, right? When we did show databases with the root, we saw a ton of stuff. We only see a couple databases here, and that's perfect, right? You want the user that's going to have access through the web application, because it's the web application itself that's going to be connecting to MariaDB. You want that to not be root for security reasons. Now we're going to install Nextcloud. So, this is why I have the instructions open over here. So we're going to go to the Nextcloud website, and we're going to download the tar.bz2 file. So to get that, I think it's this one. And then we need to go to community projects, just go away cookies, and we should see it. Yeah, there we go. tar.bz2. So we're going to copy link. We're going to get out of here. And we're going to extract it or download it rather. I'm just gonna do it here. I'm gonna make a downloads directory. The lab doesn't do that. I'm gonna stick it there. CD downloads, wget, paste. Just because I want to keep my document root on the web server nice and clean. I don't want to stick the file there. I mean, you totally can. It's okay. And we're going to extract that. Sudo tar. Let's try it without sudo. We might not need sudo. Tar xvf. Latest tar.bz. I think we need J because it's a BZ2 if I remember correctly. var www html. And that didn't work. Nope. Let's try just getting rid of the J. There we go, XVF. That's what it was. I thought you needed J for a bzip2 file. I guess not. That's running, so just give it a few minutes for it to finish. It should be doing it verbosely. I'm not sure why that didn't work. I'm going to pause again to keep the video nice and short. Oh. Nope. Okay. There we go. So what I ended up doing was just extracting it here. Right? I'm going to do an ls, so it's in the downloads folder I created. ls-l Nextcloud. We should see everything there. And then I'm going to move that, right? So move Nextcloud to var www.html. Nextcloud. Let's just try it like that. Oh, I see what I did. I see what I did. Let's just do it with sudo. Give that a minute. There, so let's confirm everything looks good. It does. We've got a Nextcloud directory there. That's great. Now we need to edit the configuration file. So we're gonna open with vi etc httpd conf.d nextcloud.conf. Nothing there, that's fine. We're gonna paste some stuff into it. Good thing I have this open here. All this stuff here. Boom, done. Copy, paste. That looks like it all took. Save and exit. And we're going to recursively change the ownership on that directory to Apache. So sudo chown-r. And let's see if we can access it. We're probably going to get an error. So your Elastic IP. I don't have stuff open. Hold on. We're done here anyway. We're just going to go into EC2. Close that tab. Close this tab. Make life easier. So we want our WW. No, we don't want WW. We want our rudder instance. What am I thinking? So if we open address. And remember, it's probably going to try to request HTTPS by default. probably going to time out. We'll just, there we go. So we got that's our page we made last week, right? Slash Nextcloud. And we got a couple errors. We need to install some things. So let's fix that up quick. Sudo dnf-y install php 8.2-gd and php 8.2-zip. There we go. And restart our service. Well, let's see if we need to restart. I think we need to restart. Just refresh. Oh, there we go. Oh, we need another package. So we're going to install php 8.2-mysqlnd. Now we're going to restart Apache. And give this a go. Control F5. Look at that. We should be good now. We should be good now. So we're going to create a user. Nextcloud. I'm going to call it Nextcloud user just because that's the lab instructions. You should call it something decent. And let's click install. It's going to take a minute. Reload. Whoops. Let's just go. Yeah, it saves that. Why not? Let's try going back. There we go. There we go. I think we're good. I'm confused. Did it create stuff? I think it created stuff. There was supposed to be a whole part where we created a database. I didn't have to do that. Weird. So let's go files. See if we can upload a file. I don't think I have a file to upload. Yeah, everything seems to work. I could just, there we go, create a new text file. Blank, sure. Test. Seems to work. Awesome. So for your submission, oh, fuck, that was easy. The screenshots that it shows below, right? Select star user from user, show databases, and show Nextcloud accessible here, right? So it's good enough. 3 screenshots, submit them to the Dropbox, and I'll mark it. Take care, be safe, have a great week. See you in this week's lab class on Teams on Friday. Bye for now.